What's up guys, Boss here, and in today's video we're going to be doing something completely different. So as you can tell, it's a completely different format. I kind of had a video idea. Now that we're at the end of 2022, I decided I would do a top 10 best player list of 2022. So if you guys like this video idea, let me know. I could do this again, maybe top 10 best decks or something like that, or top 10 updates, something like that inside of the game. But I decided to do the top 10 best players in the game. So all of these 10 players made the World Finals this year, but with that being said, 16 players made the World Finals. So some of them didn't make the list because I did some other factors, such as other performances inside of this year, such as ladder or other competitions. And you guys probably know, I would assume, there's a good chance most of you guys watching know the top 2 or the top 3 best players, but I figured a lot of you guys don't know some of the other ones that are lower on the list. And I took a lot of time, finding some facts, the pictures of the players, and just some general information about them. So I do hope you guys enjoy this top 10 list. So starting off the list here, we have Dominik. So you guys might have not heard of this player because this is his first time making a World Final. And I would say this is by far his best year inside of the game. Me personally, I didn't know who he was until this year for the most part, maybe a little bit of last year. He ended up going top 12 in the World Finals. He qualified through the last chance qualifier. Basically, there were 6 people who qualified in golden ticket tournaments, and they needed to win an event before the last chance qualifier, and then 10 people qualified from the last chance qualifier, which is quite a lot of people. He was eliminated by Mugi in the World Finals. The reason why he's number 10 on this list and some other people who made the World Finals didn't make the list is because of his ladder performance this year, which was absolutely incredible. He has gotten 2 number 1 finishes in 2022. One was in April, one was in September. He's known for being incredible with Lava Hound, and this is a player from Germany. A little bit of like how he is as a person. He's a very confident person, like in his ability to play the game, because before he made the World Finals, I'm in a group chat with him, and he basically was very confident he would make the World Finals. He said, I am for sure going to make it. So that's kind of how he is as a person, and I think that's a good mindset to have personally. So number 9 on the list, a player you guys might have not heard of too much either, kind of like Dominik, is Ardentoas. So he's a player from Mexico, and just like Dominik, it's his first time he has made a World Finals. Now, he got top 16, so he was actually first rounded. The World Finals were double elimination, but he was eliminated by Chief Keef, but he lost twice. He lost to Sweep before that. But the reason why I rank him higher than Dominik, even though he got a worse ranking in the World Finals, is because of how consistent he was this year inside a competitive. So he didn't qualify from the last chance qualifier. He actually won the All-Stars Golden Ticket event, and he took down Lucas to do that. So I'm not going to say where Lucas is on the list, but spoiler alert, he is higher than Ardentoas on this list. So because he took down such a challenging opponent in order to qualify for Worlds, I feel like that's really noteworthy. He also got second in the Queso Cup, which was a really big event, and that was another event that was a qualifier for Worlds as well, same with the All-Stars one. And he got first place in the Snapdragon NA season, which basically meant he's the best NA player, at least online, so he got that for himself. And I would personally say he's the most improved player of the year. I would say even more so than Dominik. No one really knew who Ardentoas was last year, so he really made a name for himself this year, and I do think he is in the number 9 spot. At number 8, we have Vitor. So this is Vitor's 3rd time making the World Finals. He made one with Pain Gaming in 2020, and then in 2021, last year, there was a solo format as well. He ended up getting top 16 in that, so he's slowly improving every year because this year he ended up getting top 8 in the World Finals. He qualified through the last chance qualifier, so same as Dominik. He was eliminated by Mohamed Light, and like I already mentioned, he's slowly getting better every year, and this is a player from Portugal, pretty much, I would say the only good player from Portugal inside of this game. So next up, we got Airsurfer. So this is his 2nd time making an appearance in a World Final. He is going to be the 7th best player of the year. He got top 6 in this World Finals, which is very good. He qualified through the last chance qualifier as well. He was eliminated by Mohamed Light also, and he is by far the best player in America. Now, you're probably wondering, why is he kind of low on the list? Because he got top 6 in the World Finals, which is a lot better than some of the others, and I'm going to show you exactly why. You guys are going to see the next ranked player, exactly why I put Airsurfer 7th and the player above him 6th. So 6th place is Sandbox, so it's his second time making a World Final as well. He got top 6 in the World Finals like Airsurfer did, but the biggest difference is Airsurfer, besides having that World Finals top 6, he hasn't done a ton this year compared to Sandbox, who also got 6, because they both qualified through the last chance qualifier. Sandbox was eliminated by Mugi, but I feel like what separated Airsurfer and Sandbox in the ranking was Sandbox has won a global tournament this year in April. He got a top 3 ladder finish in March, a top 4 ladder finish in October, and those were all very good achievements that I thought were worthy of putting him ahead of Airsurfer, because Airsurfer, on the other hand, even though he's been very consistent inside of competitive, he doesn't have those achievements inside of ladder this year, and that is kind of what I'm using to separate some of the players. So it's not only going to be their World Final performance, and this is by far the best player from South Korea. At number 5, we have Samuel Bassotto. So halfway through the list now, this is his 3rd time making a World Final. He made one with a CRL team earlier in his career, and then last year, he made it in the solo format, and this year, he ended up getting top 3, so by far his best World Final, I would say, especially because this is a solo World Final. I think he really exceeded people's expectations. I will say, though, he was the first person to qualify for the World Finals, which was also unexpected, because some people thought that there were going to be, a few other people who would before him, even though a lot of people thought he would. No one anticipated he'd be the first person to qualify. Along with that, he didn't get it from the last chance qualifier. He actually won a Brenchon Cup, which was the first golden ticket event. He was eliminated by Mohamed Light in Worlds, and he is debatably the best player from Brazil. Now, this is a controversial one, which you guys are going to see on the next slide here. Let me know in the comments, who do you guys think is the best player from Brazil? Is it Samuel or is it... Alright, so at number 4 we have Lucas. Now, see, this is controversial, right? People are always, wondering who's the best Brazilian player, at least on, Twitter, pros talking about it. People can't really seem to make up their mind. It's between Lucas and Samuel. They're both very similar in skill, and even though Lucas got way worse of a finish inside of the World Final, just look at how much better or more consistent of a year he's had overall. So this is his 3rd time making a World Final, same as Samuel. He was on Pain Gaming. He was actually on a team with Vitor, so they were on a team together and made the World Finals, who was shown earlier on the list, if you remember. And then he made the World Finals last year. Surprisingly, he got first rounded by Hasael, which people didn't expect. And then this year, he did a bit better, getting top 12, but still fell a bit short compared to what people expected. But there were a lot of other noteworthy achievements he has. Like, he qualified through Royal Masters, getting 2nd, so he didn't have to play the last chance qualifier. The reason why he qualified even though he got 2nd is the way it worked is if someone else won a golden ticket, then the person who got 2nd would take their spot instead and go to Worlds. And I believe it was Mohamed Light who won Royal Masters, so it went to Lucas because Mohamed Light already had a ticket. He was eliminated by Vitor in Worlds, his former teammate. He got 2nd in All-Stars, which was another golden ticket event. It was the one that Ardentoas won to actually get to qualify for the World Finals. So he lost to Arden. He got 2nd in the Brenchon Cup, another golden ticket event. But he got number 1 in a Dead Safio live event, which was a pretty big event in Spain, and he also got number 1 on ladder in October. So because he has more overall achievements in the year compared to Samuel, that's why I personally put him ahead. But let me know, who do you guys think is the best player from Brazil, because it's pretty close, and I feel like it could go either way. At number 3, we have Mugi. I feel like this is a lot of people's favorite player, an amazing Japanese player. There's some amazing players in Japan, but he is I would say easily the best one, and most people do agree with that. So this is his third time making a world final. He has a ton of skill, though. He's very young, so I actually think if he was a bit older and was old enough to play competitive when he first started playing, he probably would have made world finals, I would want to say, a fourth time. And same with for the person we'll get later to on. You'll see I don't want to spoil anything. So he got top 4 in the world finals. So a little worse than last year, because last year, as a lot of you probably know, he ended up winning the world finals, which was very exciting for him, of course. He got number 1 in the Royal Masters Golden Ticket event, so he didn't have to play the last chance qualifier. He was eliminated by Mohamed Light in the world finals. He got second in the Masters Challenge, which was another big event for the qualifiers. He got 4th in the Brenchon Cup. A little bit worse, but I still thought it was worth including it. And then he got second on ladder in January. So I think all of these things definitely earn him the 3rd best player of the year. At number 2, is it really that big of a surprise? It's Morten. And I feel like every year he always seems to get second place, whether it's by bad luck or just falling a little bit short. It seems to just be just a reoccurring thing at this point. With that being said, though, of everyone on this list, he has made the most world finals, even more than the person who is number 1 on this list, because he has made a couple with SK, and then when the format turned solo in 2021, he easily qualified to the world finals. He made it pretty far in that as well, and then in 2022, he ended up getting second place, which is incredible, but you know it really pains him to get second because it has happened to him so many times. Also that time in 2019 against Surgical Goblin, that 1 HP game, separating him from being the champion. So he actually qualified through the last chance qualifier. Despite how good he is, he wasn't able to get it until the very end, which I think was a little bit surprising. He was eliminated by Mohamed Light in the World Finals. He did, though, get number 1 in the All-Stars live event. You can see in this picture, he's actually holding that trophy. He got 3rd in the Brenchon Cup. He won a global tournament in September. He got second, of course, second, right, on ladder in August. And he's definitely the best player from Germany inside of the game. And he is beloved by many people inside of the community. I mean, pretty much everyone watching this video knows who he is and really respects him. He's a very hardworking player, and I hope, next year he can finally get that world final win that he has been working so hard for. And last up, we have number 1, Mohamed Light. I mean, okay, I don't think anyone watching is that surprised. I think everyone watching knew that he was going to be number 1 on the list. If you know anything about the game, you know that he is by far the best player in the game right now. And I would pretty much say he's the only player who's pretty good inside of this game that's from Africa, which is a pretty good achievement of itself. He's from Egypt, so that's pretty cool. And this is only his 2nd time making a world final, which seems crazy for how good he is, but you have to keep in mind how young he is as well, and he's pretty new to the game compared to some of the other pros. He really only started playing seriously only about 2-3 years ago. So he was the winner of the World Finals, obviously, and he ended up beating Morten twice. So that was, insane, because he made a run through the loser bracket, because believe it or not, he actually lost to KK first round. People were pretty shocked after that, but then after that, maybe he was a little bit nervous on stage because it was his very first live event, but he came around and he managed to go undefeated after that, winning the World Finals. Definitely well-deserved. He's by far the best player in the game. As good as Morten is, I feel like he doesn't come close to Mohamed Light's skill, because let's get into some of his other achievements here. He won the Queso Cup, he won the Masters Challenge, he won the EU ESL Snapdragon, so basically the NA one that Ardentoas won, Mohamed Light won the EU one, and the difference is I would actually say EU players are way better than NA players, so that's actually in and of itself a bigger achievement. And he's also the first player to finish number 1 on ladder 3 times in a row. No one has ever done that before in the history of the game. So if that doesn't prove that this is the best player to ever play this game in history, I don't know what does. He got number 1 in January, number 1 in February, number 1 in March. 3 times in a row, and most people are never going to finish #1 ever. It is an incredibly hard thing to do. So if that doesn't say how good he is, I don't know what does. But anyway, that is going to include the list. Let me know what you guys thought about this video format. I know it was probably a little bit basic. It was definitely like a different type of format. I've never really done it like this before, but I kind of wanted to. Some of you guys like kind of my style where it's just like, you know, basic and there's not a ton of editing. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like the video if you guys did end up enjoying it. Subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already. And thanks again. Until next time, guys.